I just got back from checking the mail, and wouldn't you know it, an invitation to Hogwarts is what I found. This is Hogwarts Legacy. Don't go away. So to start, Hogwarts Legacy. Huge Harry Potter fan here. I've read through the books twice. I have posters, I have memorabilia. I've watched the movies a large amount of times. And I've played basically every Harry Potter game to release. If you're wondering why it took me so long as a big Harry Potter fan to get here, well, I didn't get a PS5 until a few months ago when I wanted to wait until I got a PS5 to get the full experience. Plus, every physical game shop I went into did not have a copy. Until now. So how was my experience? I genuinely believe, if I put my biasness aside, this is not a great game. It's an okay game. I'll try to explain all the reasons why. Let's start with the story. It's set in the late 1800s, so it's before Harry Potter himself ever touched the face of the earth. You play as your created Hogwarts player, the hero, versus Ranrock, the evil goblin, aka the villain.
I was right. Ranrock.
Now, the actual core of the main story is a lot shorter than people would think for the game length, which was about 34 hours I think I spent in this game. There really isn't a lot of main missions. Mostly what you'll be doing is side quests or relationship quests or exploring the map. I find the content of these quests to be fun, like the actual design of them. But the people you do them for, the people who set these quests on to the player, I find very boring.
Milo's name for the acromantula. He did have a flair for the dramatic.
Sebastian is one of the main guys, and his is okay. I mean, he wants to help his sister who got cursed by a goblin, he thinks, and it's okay, but it just gets to the point where Sebastian is just pushing it way too much. And at the end of Sebastian's line, it's like, okay, we're still trying to help Anne out. Like, come on. You have this chick who I don't even know the name of. I couldn't tell you. I didn't like any of the quests I did for her. Another main focal character is Mr. Fig, who I will say I really enjoyed. You also have all the other teachers, who I didn't really enjoy. You never really get to know who these characters are, but one you do get to know, out of at least all the relationship quests, the highlight of characters for me was Poppy Sweeting.
What do you mean you'd had enough and the worst was over?
Killed him.
You see, the night I freed Highwing was also the night I ran away from home. A poacher camp. I come from a family of poachers.
Yo, Poppy's like the best character and just not even close. Like, not even close. You do a bunch of quests with this person based around killing poachers and saving the animals. And I'll be honest, 95% of this quest in this game, I have no care for. Any quests I did with Poppy, I genuinely was interested in the story, the characters involved, how everything unfolded. This was the highlight of stories for me, and I have a feeling I might be the only person saying that.
Charm and threatened to make a coat out of the next poacher that set foot on her doorstep.
Did I just watch Poppy just fly off a building? Okay, then let's just climb back up.
Surely she'll be pleased you've gone after the Snidgets.
I hope so.
But you know what else was a highlight? The combat.
Stop her!
Alright, the chief police officer said, "Yo, Cassandra! Boom! Boom!" Man, was the combat cooking in this game. I coined it while playing. I coined it as a juggling style system of combat. The reason why is because you cannot solely focus on one person. I mean, yeah, you technically could, but the most efficient way of combat here is to juggle between multiple enemies. Spamming R2 will release your most basic cast, but hold down R2 and square, triangle, O, or X a button for a specific spell. Confringo, Glacius, Bombarda. I will say I'm mad that there is no Reducto. My favorite spell in all of Harry Potter was not in this game. And all the spells you learn are coordinated into a 3-color system. Red, purple, yellow. This actually matters because enemies like goblins and dark wizards will throw up shields of said color. The only way to get rid of them, other than a parry, is to shoot that specific colored spell at them to break the shield. It's an easy entry point, high ceiling kind of combat. The kind of combat that you have a really good amount of fun in at first glance. But over time, the better you get, the more fun combat becomes. Here's a clip of me in the beginning of this game.
It's 2-on-1 now. Oh my god, this thing is close. I'm gonna shoot up, use my fists! Get over here!
Don't try to run now.
And after about 25-30 hours, I became very proficient in combat.
Okay, that looked kind of cool.
But the combat brings me to my next point. With such a satisfying combat brings the absolute puzzler of a question. Where is the f***ing Duel Club? Older Harry Potter titles have such things as duel clubs, and it's amazing. Time to time, I literally boot the GameCube up with Prisoner of Azkaban in it just to play this game mode. It's that fun. So with a combat system like this, having no side minigame on the side of the story of duel mode is absolutely bonkers to me, and it was a huge letdown. You do have these tiny side missions at the very beginning of the game to teach you combat, what they call like dueling like underground class stuff, and it's not really that good. It's a tiny squeeze space. You're fighting like 1-on-2 or 2-on-3. I was just dying to find out where the duel club is. There is none. But here's another huge letdown for me.
For crying out loud, what next?
And literally, I feel like the audience, if you haven't played this game before, you're gonna laugh your ass off at this. Enemy variety is unbelievably low. In a 35-hour expansive Hogwarts map that features huge expansive grounds, has this amount of enemies. In base camps, you will fight dark wizards, goblins, or spiders. Dark wizards, goblins, and spiders. That's literally it. Every single cave you enter, guess what? Spiders. You go 5,000 kilometers south, spiders. If you go into a spot that isn't a cave or an enemy encampment, which is like the entire open world, you will find wolves, dug bogs, and the occasional troll.
That's it?
That's it. That's it.
This pales in comparison to older Harry Potter titles. I am baffled that you get an open world Harry Potter experience and you are missing so many potential enemies. Where's the red caps? Where's the hinky punks? Dementors? Nowhere. Not here. Which means no Patronus spell. That's not in the game either. Enemy variety is so bad. There's a mission where you fight this ghost guy and he spawns in this like sort of like brought together by boxes and chairs kind of enemy, and it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. You quickly realize this is just a troll with a chair and table skinned over it.
This is just a troll. This is literally the exact same moveset for a troll, bro.
So enemy variety is unbelievably low for a Harry Potter world. Now, what else can you do in this open world though? Well, it's good, but with a huge catch. You see, the nature of a open world game is reward versus time spent. Everything you do in any open world game out there, you always have a goal in mind. Whether it's clearing a specific area for a reward, going into a cave for a reward, finishing side quests for a reward or because you're interested in said character, discovering new areas and solving puzzles for a reward. Now, the key word I said there a lot of times was reward. The reward always has to be worth the effort and time put in.
$1?
And it got to a point pretty damn early on in Hogwarts. I stopped doing everything because the rewards were not worth it. I just can't believe the amount of times I went through pretty extensive areas and puzzles to get to the end and get what I consider to be garbage.
Perfect. Let's see what we've got.
Need money. This better be a huge reward.
This must be what all the fuss was about.
That is literally insanely bad.
Now, a lot of the rewards here are money, and the gear that you don't need, you can sell for money. The thing here is, what do you do with the money? I actually had almost $20,000 at the end of this game unspent, with everything possible upgraded and bought in my game. And I'm nowhere near 100% in this map, not even close. With the money, you can buy broom upgrades, different kinds of brooms, they're kind of all the same, potion recipes, plants, you can buy straight up potions so you don't have to make them, some apparel. There's just not a lot to do here with your money, which also makes it so that every new town and merchant you come across, every merchant, unless they have a side quest, is useless. There's no difference between the merchant over here and the merchant over there because they're probably selling the same stuff. But what about the things in between that? Like there's Merlin trials, astronomy towers, landing pads, balloons to pop. That's what Hogwarts Legacy calls its challenges. Collecting field guide pages is part of this too, but if you collect to a certain threshold, say kill 10 Dug Bogs, okay, or complete 5 astronomy towers, or do 10 Merlin trials. The rewards early on for some of these, such as the Merlin trials, are worth it. Extra inventory slots. But then you realize you only need inventory slots for gear. You don't really need gear later on because it's not worth selling and you already have top gear. So I just stopped doing Merlin trials. And the rest of these rewards?
They're not good!
And as much as I would love to sit here and say that the open world of Hogwarts Legacy is awesome, I can't deny that I just stopped doing stuff. And that is a surefire sign that it's just not that top tier.
What? I thought I could climb this.
But moving on, I want to talk about Hogwarts and Sims, brought to you by the Room of Requirement. This was actually kind of a cool thing to play around in. Put your potions tables where you want them, put your plants where you want them. You can decorate it to where you see fit. Although I will say, a lot of it was locked for me until you start getting into the game and unlocking a lot of cosmetical items, which I'll be honest was just even worse than getting low money in chests. End up finishing a puzzle just to get a painting that you can put in the Room of Requirement that is cosmetic only. That's the kind of rewards you see here. But I can't deny I did have fun customizing the Room of Requirement. There's also another thing you can do in the Room of Requirement. You can keep your animals. Yes, in a weird twist that I didn't see coming, you can capture animals and keep them in the Room of Requirement. Pet them, feed them,
Read them.
It was always good at the end of a Hogwarts Legacy session to just chill out in the Room of Requirement, make your potions, get everything set, feed your animals, and get ready for the next time you play.
Bro gets 2 double servings.
And if you're wondering if there's an actual point to these animals, well, there actually is. Feeding them and petting them will result in you getting their feathers or fur or whatever you want to call it. Bring this to the loom and you can upgrade your equipment. This is actually a brilliant system. I really like this. It incentivizes you to collect as many animals as possible, the rare ones included. Like capturing a unicorn was awesome in this game because it's fast, it's hard to capture. Capture it back, you get unicorn hair. All of a sudden your upgrades can go crazy. So the Room Requirement here, huge positive for Hogwarts Legacy. Presentation for Hogwarts Legacy. There is one pretty damn bad thing about this game. but I'll get into that in a couple minutes. Because what this game does good is a few things. I really like the real-time cutscenes. It's always funny to kind of like play out like, oh, guess who the main character is kind of thing. Or some crazy stuff happens in the background and it's crazy.
Not again. I was impressed that you were able to answer Professor Sharp's question about the Wicked Realm potion.
There is absolute chaos happening outside this conversation.
Thank you.
I like how the menu is designed. It's this book, it's colorful, it's creative. The effect and sound effects of spells, probably a good reason why the combat felt so satisfying. Plus, at the end of the combat when you kill the last enemy, there's a sick slow-mo. The animations for every spell you do, like there's a bunch of animations. Behind the back, over the shoulder, turn around, spin. Great animations.
Just like that.
Lighting and graphics are impressive, I'll be honest. I love the design of the map for Hogwarts Legacy. It's like a 3D, you get the topography of the surface area of like all the maps. It's a good map. The music has those shining moments that are specifically like, yeah, that's Harry Potter. But let's get into the bad. The music is not there 95% of this game.
See, like, there's a weird lack of sound right now. There should totally be music playing somewhere.
Revelio.
Seriously, multiple times while playing through this game, I had to audibly say out loud to myself, sitting in a room by myself, and say, damn, this game is quiet as hell.
Like, this is a, like, how could there be no music here? Nothing. Can you even hear the waves? I swear you can't even hear the water.
It's a distinct absence of sound. Because of this lack of music, I swear to you, I had less of a magical Harry Potter experience with this game than I did with previous games. Just check out scenes from previous games that have great music behind them. It's like salt with food. It enhances it so much. The absence of music was so like a lemon drop in my eye, I swear, this whole game.
Fly! What are these things?
Carapace is off them.
We need.
Do we really have to go to Snape's class now?
Overall impact, I'll be honest, this is not the best Harry Potter game out there. There's a good amount of reason for that, at least in my opinion. But I will say, any elf in this game is an automatic MVP character. Penny is downright hilarious. Deke was such a great person to have as like your room of requirement kind of butler. But this game did throw me for a loop. As a Harry Potter title, you don't really expect blood, guts, gore, broken limbs, and stuff like that. But there was a mission I did that took me to a cave to find Deke the elf's friend. And I found him. Dead. He was dead. So I went back to Deke and told him his friend was dead, and he cried. And that's the mission. I literally sat there and said, holy shit.
Wonderful. Deke hopes you gave Deke's best to Tobbs.
I'm sorry to tell you this, Deke, but Tobbs is gone. It seems he was unable to avoid the spiders in the end.
Oh my. Deke was afraid of this, alone in that cave for so long. Oh, poor...
Field guide pages, I have to make a note of this because it's so funny as someone who's played a lot of Harry Potter games. In the very early Harry Potter games, you are collecting these pages out of like these chests. And I found it so funny starting the game where you have to collect field guide pages again. The movement for getting around everywhere in this game is super fluid. The walk animation's good. Jumping on your broom and just flying somewhere like 20 feet is so ridiculously smooth to hop on your broom and then hop off. It's great. There's a okay skill tree. I don't even want to call it okay. I put some skill points in the skill tree and then ended up never touching it again because I didn't need, like, I had skill points in excessive use that I didn't drop into spots that were open because I just don't need them. So I guess it's not really an okay system because it's not a great sign. But overall, Hogwarts Legacy has a huge ton of volume on the surface. So much to explore, lots of customization for your character, albeit I will say I didn't enjoy 95% of the looks of these cosmetics. But there is a lot to ooh and awe about, you know, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan who's got a pretty keen eye and has read the books and you see these Easter eggs, it's like ooh and awe. But you go below the surface, and I think it's, as an open world game goes, one that is... I would find it hard to recommend to people. Hogwarts Legacy 2 could fill so many holes, it could be insane. But for Hogwarts Legacy, at least the first one here, 6.9 out of 10. So that's it, Hogwarts Legacy. I'm interested in seeing the reception of this one because, from what I've seen online, a lot of differing opinions. People will defend this game with their lives, people are cutting it down, some people in the middle. But something that is going to be done is I can re-rank my Harry Potter rankings now. This should be interesting to see where Legacy lies, but stay tuned for that future video. For now, that's it. I'm your host, Sacred Planet Entertainment. Hope you enjoyed this review. Peace out.
Who the fuck is this?
Hello. Is there something I can help you with?
I got a shit.
How do you do? I'm Satirissa Tugwood, and I have an
what?
exciting
Zach
business
Tug my
proposition
wood?
for you.
Is that what I just heard?
Now, it may surprise you to learn that someone of my obvious...
What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.